The saying is trustworthy, Timothy. The saying is trustworthy. For if we have died with him, we will also live with him. If we endure, we will reign with him. But if we deny him, Timothy, he will deny us. And if we are faithless, he remains faithful because he cannot deny himself. Now, you can tell that Paul is still giving foundation stones for confidence because he says, the saying is trustworthy. What I'm about to tell you, bank on it. Stand on it. This is trustworthy. This is rock solid truth that I'm about to give you. So be strong in it. Put it underneath your life and build a life of courage on it. That's what's going on with that word trustworthy in verse 11. So, what is he saying? What kind of confidence? He is saying, this is what's sure. God's promises of triumph through suffering are sure, and God's warnings of lostness through unbelief are sure. Follow me here because this text is often misused. Here are the promises of triumph. Middle of verse 11. If we have died with him, we're going to live with him. Meaning, if you've been identified with Jesus by faith in his death, if you've embraced death, the death of Jesus and your death in Jesus, you're going to live. That saying is trustworthy. And secondly, paralleling it, if we endure, we will reign with him. So Jesus said in Mark 13, he who endures to the end will be saved. Mark 13:13. So Jesus is risen. If you die with him, you'll live. Jesus is son of David. You're going to reign with him. See the correlation? If you are united to him in his death, you will live, and that is sure. Endure, Timothy, endure. Don't walk away from Jesus to avoid suffering. Now he tells him why. Verse 12, middle of the verse. If we deny him, he will deny us. You will be lost, Timothy. If you bail on Jesus, if you throw him away, if you walk away from this King and this Savior, this friend, have nothing to do with him the rest of your life, you're damned. He will renounce you at the last day, and he's quoting Jesus. You remember the text, right? Matthew 10:33, Jesus said, whoever denies me before men, I will deny before my Father who is in heaven. You do not want to hear those words. I don't know you, Timothy. Got a good start in the Christian life, got a few kudos from the apostle, then you bailed. I don't even know you. You weren't mine. You weren't ever mine. You don't want to hear that word. That's a serious word. He's not playing games here. And so when the parallel happens in verse 13, you can't make it be positive. If we are faithless, he remains faithful. Does not mean faithful to you. Otherwise, the previous word meant nothing. You deny him, he denies you. You are faithless, you throw it away, you reject Jesus, you're not a believer. He is faithful to himself. And the way he vindicates himself is by throwing you out, Timothy. God supremely values His trustworthiness. If you blackball His trustworthiness by saying, I'm not going to trust Him anymore, I'm going to trust money, I'm going a new way, I'm done with that stuff, that old Christian stuff. You stay there, He's faithful to the worth of His name, to the worth of His trustworthiness. And the way God vindicates His trustworthiness to those who will not have it is called hell. So don't congratulate your unbelief by saying, God's still faithful to me. He is faithful. He cannot deny Himself. That's what He's faithful to. And therefore, underneath the promises is He cannot deny Himself. If you hold to Jesus and say, you mean everything to me, you are trustworthy, I'm just a hopeless sinner and you're everything, He cannot deny you. Your security is as firm as His allegiance to His name. But if you bail on Him, if you turn on Him, if you say, I want nothing more to do with that, you're not my Savior, probably a myth anyway, just messed me up with all my relationships, I'm out of here forever, He will deny you in all faithfulness to His infinite worth. So, Timothy, we're not playing games. I love Paul. He's not playing around. Everything is at stake in serving Jesus. Everything is at stake in knowing Jesus. I'm not going to whitewash this, Timothy.